You might be the exception. I didn't get to therapy because I was happy.
No. Dude, I was burnt out of my mind. I get on the discovery call and she goes, "How can I help you?" And I just started rambling for 30 minutes and I started crying. And I'm like, "You're really good at this."
Welcome to the Coach 'em Up podcast. My name is Tim Riley. I'm not joined with Zach Zillner today. I will tell you that his exotic dancing career is blowing up. We all know that Diddy no longer is having house parties, but apparently Rick Ross is. And from the videos I was getting at 3 a.m. In the morning last night, I was asleep in my bed, comfortable. I was awoken. I forgot to put my phone on silent, do not disturb, D&D. And I start getting all these videos of Zach in Rick Ross's mansion, and I can only assume that he was hired for his exotic dancing capabilities. So congratulations to Zach. Congratulations to Rick Ross. Shout out Rick Ross. Big shout out Rick Ross. Everybody, if you want to see a video of Zach's exotic dancing skill set he's just acquired, comment Rick Ross. Comment Rick Ross. Also, that reminds me, we have some front of house business to attend to before we really start ripping and I tell you who today's guest is. There are, of course, two kinds of people on this planet Earth. There are subscribers and there are non-subscribers. Everyone who is already subscribed, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for being here, for being a day one, for being a real one. Oh, as Rick Ross would say.
Oh, let's go.
We fucking love you. Okay. To all our non-subscribers, we appreciate you as well. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. It's not like we don't love you. We just love you a little less. It's like being, like everyone says, oh, you're not supposed to have like a favorite, kid. That's a lie. Everyone, if you have more than one kid, you like one of them better. I'm telling you, we like our subscribers a little better. So if you want to be as loved as your other subscribed siblings, hit the subscribe button. It's free to you. It helps us a shit ton, and it's going to afford us the opportunity to continue to make banger fucking content. That being said, I would like to introduce my guest today, Dr. Andy Fata-Chan. Andy, how are you, sir?
Dude, that was a dope 180. We were just having a chill conversation and boom, lights, camera, action. What's up, motherfuckers?
Thank you.
That was so
Thank
good.
You. Well, I've gotten a lot of reps now. I don't know what episode. So I've had several guests ask me post conversation. They're like, dude, is that like rehearse? Is that like,
are you in showbiz?
No, I'm not. I said this on the last show. I'm winging all of this.
Yeah.
But specificity, as it turns out, applies to a lot of things. You fucking wing it long enough, your whole life, eventually, you just kind of get a little better at winging it.
I wanted to create this like a real like sports specific training, like someone attention, like ankle weights to their wrist and playing chess. I'm thinking like it's gonna fucking improve their chess game. But that's kind of what the industry is like now.
Yes.
Just add a little resistance to reenact your sport.
You're covered.
Yeah.
Sport specific.
Yeah.
That's going to be $500 a month for group training. Yeah. Large group training. Yeah. Elite business model. Maybe not the best in practice. All right. So, Dr. Andy, we've gotten to know each other a little bit off air. At least 10 minutes worth of
10
time.
minutes ago.
Yes. But, with these sorts of things, I posted the question box and everything, and we're getting prepared to have this conversation. And one thing that stood out to me is how many people I know that I like, that I trust, that have made an impact in the space, reached out to me, and they were just like, fuck yeah. Matt Watson being one of them. Matt Watson, friend of the show.
That's Matt.
Matt's great. Legend. Fucking legend. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that there's quite a bit of buzz about you being on the show. People are very excited. How does that make you feel?
Dude, it gives me the validation I never had in my life. So
we're going to talk about that.
I'm fucking stoked.
We're going to talk about that later. All right. So I've gotten to know you a little bit. I have done a deep dive on your Instagram and properly stalked and creeped your work in preparation for this podcast. So for those of us who do not know you or not aware of your game, Can you put them on game? Tell the people a little bit about Dr. Andy, why you got into coaching and physical therapy, and then how you got to where you're at today.
Well, first off, there's no game, so just gotta throw that out there. No, I got into training. It was junior year going into senior year of high school. A friend of mine, Russo, we were in a pool hall. And in high school, I was a straight up degenerate, like poker houses, staying out till like 3 or 4 a.m.
Micah, we would have hung out.
Yeah, drinking Hennessy and green tea at
my dog!
Bars. Like,
he's lying. He does got game. Motherfucker's up on game. Don't let him lie to you. That's all I needed to hear.
So, I mean, we used to bet on stupid shit. Like, we would be outside. There'd be pigeons on the light thing. It's like, yeah, I bet you $5 that pigeon's going to fly out first. And we would just fucking stare there.
Yes.
But we were at the pool hall, and my buddy Russell was like, yo, bro, I could do twice as many push-ups as you. And I was like, there's no fucking way.
Yep.
So I get down, I'm like, we put $50 on it. I get down on the floor. The only reason we could afford like betting was like, everyone in my friend group was reselling sneakers.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hustling.
So I get down, 13 push-ups, I think, 0 reps left in the tank. And my friend Russo just fucking 40 something easily.
Whoa.
Yeah. That summer, I gave him $50 and also my dignity. And then get into senior year, I had a stomach virus. I get into senior year of high school and I'm 110 pounds.
Okay.
Fucking frail as shit. I remember a friend of mine took a picture at the beach and I'm like, holy crap, I might get blown away by the wind. And I remember the wrestling coach, he was a bodybuilder in high school and he was like, hey, we do a competition called Mr. Tech every year. And I looked at my friend group. We were chatting in, what was it, like Group Me back in the day? I forgot what we were using. But I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that competition. People were like, no way. So I bulked my ass up to 145.
Nice, dude.
Cut down to 135. Did the competition. My brother helped me fake tan and all that shit.
No way. Epic.
Yeah. And did the bodybuilding competition. That's kind of what started it all. I was just reading T Nation articles, bodybuilding.com articles, Muscle and Fitness, Arnold's.
This is the origin story that so many of us, a millennial strength coach shares, is that same origin story. I was with Mike Boyle and I was kind of telling him the story because he was asking this question. He's like, you did what every coach does. Because from there, I was at the gym and I'm like, there's these people that don't even give a shit about macros and they all look more jacked than me and they're powerlifters. So I ended up competing in powerlifting for a couple of years. Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, so powerlifting was dope, but my resting heart rate was like 90 plus. It was brutal. But when I was in physical therapy school, I was powerlifting. I got it was like a 365 pause deadlift. And I paused and I felt something pull. I'm like, oh, fuck. But I'm like, it's all good. My ortho teacher has a basically like an open lab where he'll treat people. And it's students or like, friends and family of the faculty. I go in and he's like, yo, first off, why are you lifting that heavy? And I'm like, because I want to. Like, I don't know. Like, that's just what powerlifters do.
Because I have a pulse, even if my resting heart rate is 90? What do you mean? Yeah.
And straight up, that was kind of like what happened. It was just like, you shouldn't be lifting that heavy. He kind of like moved my spine a little bit. It's like, oh, you got like a hypermobile thoracic spine. I'm like, there's no fucking way because I'm stiff as shit.
Right.
I have no range of motion.
Yeah, it's funny because I can't rotate left or right. Yeah.
So literally for after the first year of physical therapy school, fucking dope, by the way. It was like, highly recommend going to Miami for a year. That was awesome.
That's where Zach is now. I mean, that's how you end up at Rick Ross's party, dude. You can't live in Austin and end up at Rick Ross's house. I'm just saying. That's not how it works.
You take your fucking notes to the pool. You're studying it by the pool.
God.
But after the first year, they start teaching you how to treat patients. And it's like everything you shouldn't do. Or maybe it's like literally the first week or two of rehab and that's it. So I just started reading more research paper. I was on Clinical Athlete Forum after the second year. I started seeking out like other kind of mentors. And,
That's interesting. So you were able to pick up on that in real time. You were saying to yourself, like, this isn't going to be adequate.
There's no way that this program or this exercise or this framework is going to get me back to actually training heavy. So I'm like, I have to look for something else.
Yeah, I see.
So that's where I was like, my wife is a freaking genius, biomolecular science degree from University of Michigan.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, she was just helping me pass school. And I was helping her prepare for the real, like when we actually start working with patients, I fucking got you covered.
Right.
Because I was going into straight up credit card debt, taking courses and seminars and mentorships. And I don't regret it. Like literally, I think I had like $10K in credit card debt by the time I graduated. And then from there, just kind of 2019, graduated, started at a clinic in Manhattan. 2 years later, broke down in Terry Black because I was so fucking burnt out. I was celebrating a friend's birthday. And that's why this is so nostalgic. We started Moment, and that's kind of where we're at right now. We have a practice. It's me, my wife. I think we are at 6 physical therapists. We have an education company attached to it. So we do online mentorships. This is why I'm here this weekend teaching a seminar.
So sick, dude.
Yeah. I think it's like 330 coaches and clinicians so far that have gone through the mentorship.
Oh my God.
And then they've asked us for business coaching, and I did not want to do that. It was like...
What was your hesitation there? Was it an imposter syndrome
Imposter
thing?
syndrome, and like, I just didn't think I could actually lead people in that way.
Sure.
Because I was still trying to figure it out myself. And I guess what I realized, it's like, I'm not going to promise you something I haven't done before.
Yep.
So I had the honest conversation with a couple of people because, we had probably 5 or 10 mentees that were like, the people that you told me to reach out to did not vibe with them at all. It just did not like sit well. And my gut was telling me it wasn't the right move. And I straight up told them, I'm like, listen, I'm not doing this publicly. This is what I think I can get you to realistically. This is where I'm at. Like this, here's my numbers.
Yep, here's the books.
If you're interested, I don't know, $500 a month. I'll get on 2 calls and like I'll build some trainings. We kept it under for like a year. I didn't do anything. And then within a year, I was like, holy crap, y'all are crushing it.
Yeah.
And then now we do that as well. So it's been a ride. It's been a ride.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
You talked about going into credit card debt.
And you're like, oh shit. Yeah.
Well, look, man, like I think, and this has been a reoccurring theme on the show too, apart from like the origin story of like T-Nation and bodybuilding.com. But like what that really gives me insight to is like if you were in the forums and you were in the weeds, then you had like a level of obsession around perfecting and just seeking to understand and wanting to be better and doing whatever it took, which for me was like basically all of my free time to absorb as much information as possible. And then taking it a step further, and in your case, going into credit card debt, by the way, completely relatable. I can relate to spending money that I don't have or shouldn't spend on education. And I did it for years. And I'm so grateful for it today because it gave me the foundation. And you know what I learned too? And this is another thing you touched on is, if you go to a seminar or a cert and if you've done that and you're listening to this, you're almost certainly going to hear a line, something like this. And it's going to be, if you take one thing away from this, it's worth the price of admission. If you take one piece, if there's one sticky thing, and it's like, I don't know about that. But what I can say is like having exposure and paying for it, like literally putting my money where my mouth is and investing in it, it does a couple of things. One is like, it gives me a new perspective, a new lens through which to operate. And then a lot of those things that I spent that time and money on ended up being, it's like things that's like, oh, I actually don't love 90% of this. You know what I mean? Like, and I think and you talked about like your experience in school, there is a lot, and it's so hard to like, it's so easy to say this in hindsight, but there is a ton of benefit to being exposed to the stuff that you're eventually going to disregard. Because it's almost impossible to get from like decent to good to great to exceptional without wading through some of that nonsense. And Joe Padula, friend of the show, shout out Joe, his programming philosophy is start with the things that absolutely have no place. Start there, And so it gives you a spectrum and a frame of reference that I don't think that, and it accelerates that process, unlike anything else.
Yeah, what you said, it's like, hey, I say that during the weekend too, so I was cracking up. But it's not a technique or some sort of framework. I'm like, if you understand this technique, this weekend will pay for itself.
Right.
Because I'm dropping quotes and people throughout the whole weekend. I'm like, I always mention, I'm like, does anyone know this person, Charlie Munger? Because we start off with a Charlie Munger quote. I'm like, if you don't know who Charlie Munger is, this weekend paid for itself already. Go read Charlie Munger's books and you're going to like 10x yourself. Same thing, like Naval Ravikant will come up and I'm like, same thing here.
Shout out Charlie Munger. I do not know who that is.
Warren Buffett's business partner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm just going to jot that down.
But what he was saying, Charlie's famous for invert, always invert, right? So like you might not know what you want to actually do, but you know what's wrong, right? So from a programming perspective, I think it's so hard to teach programming because everyone's got their own flavor or twist on it. Mm-hmm. But you know what not to do, like German volume training.
Yeah, don't do that.
Like for like a...
Almost never.
Yeah. So it's just like, okay, I know I can't do too much volume. I know I can't do too little volume. So what's the sweet spot? And there's a huge zone there.
Yeah.
But that's where I feel like most people are missing. It's like, I want this one thing. And I'm like, every answer that you're looking for isn't a specific answer. It's a huge gradient. Yeah. And there's so many answers there.
Well, that actually brings us to the first topic I wanted to talk about. Which is that and again, stalking your Instagram, I saw a post, made me laugh out loud. I also have a personal take on this, so I feel strongly about it. It's you walking backwards on a treadmill, and it says, walking backwards, knee pain disappeared, credit score went up, student loans disappeared, skin cleared up, and your Asian parents finally validated your existence. Yeah. So, obviously, actually, I was going to say obviously, but maybe not. Like people seeking that one solution, that one answer that's going to solve everything, the panacea fix all for everything. And it's so sexy to sell that. And I think there's a lot of reasons why that works, particularly for people in pain. That post, you did a wonderful job of encapsulating sort of the absurdity that is associated with making a claim as broad or general as like, this is going to fix everything. You nailed it, by the way. Also still seeking validation myself. So very relatable.
You got Asian parents?
No, just absent. I love you.
I'm not sure which one's better.
Honestly, sometimes you're better off if they're just not around. There's different, it's trauma, just different forms. But can you dive into that a little bit? This invasion, particularly in the rehab and pain realm of pushing an exercise that is supposed to fix it all.
And that's the thing. I think one with that exercise in particular, it's just kind of like I remember someone's like, this is really great for your knees because it's concentric only. And I'm like, okay, so what are you going to do when you got to put on the brakes? Because those are eccentrics, right? So it's like, great point, concentric only. And I think it could be a great entry point for loading. But again, if you could do something for like 20, 30 minutes, you're probably not like...
Yeah, are we getting a stimulus actually?
You're going to get some stimulus for people that are untrained, or like it might feel great. Yeah. Does walking backwards 3 to 5 minutes warm up the knees for something else? Perfect by all means. Mm-hmm. But to act like this is going to develop strength, to act like this is going to prepare you for higher impact activities like plyos, jumping, cutting, etc. It's like, I don't think so.
How fair do you think this is? Because this is something that I see, particularly when it comes to like, I think walking backwards almost always is associated with like cranky knees, patellar tendonitis, stuff like that, right? And when you get warm and you're able to impact that area and get blood flow, you get relief.
Yeah.
And I think so often people get caught in the trap of confusing relief with recovery or relief with improvement. And I think those low-level exercises like that, and you mentioned it, like if someone's entirely untrained, like it might be able to get them from wherever they're at to like moving the needle in a positive direction, but like long-term.
Yeah, I think it's always good to have a bunch of one-liners in your head that you can tell patients or clients, because then they'll be like, damn, man's got bars.
Yeah, bars.
But I usually say...
My dog's got game, I'm telling you.
I just say absence of pain is in presence of function. So you can do a lot of things to
heat. Pew, 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 pew. I wish I had like a soundboard right now, because that was a fucking bar. Can you say it again, please?
Absence of pain is in presence of function. So I think right then and there is like the biggest mistake we make as rehab providers. It's doing a bunch of shit to help address pain, which is super important in beginning stages.
Sure.
But in the middle to later stages, it's like we literally have to build function. And most of the time people are like just so afraid of working in pain. And I'm not saying that like, you know, if we were working together, you've got to be like crying in debilitating pain.
Sure.
But I think one of the things I just consider, it's like, I'm okay with pain as long as it's tolerable. And if the exercise elicits muscle fatigue versus like, if you're like, I can't continue anymore because this like joint ache or discomfort or pressure is building up. You know, like some patients I have, they have like 2 or 3 out of 10 pain while training, but their muscles are fatiguing before the pain actually, you know, makes the exercise unbearable.
Got it.
So it's like, you just have to train and build function, because that's like, I call it like the bread and butter, the meat and potatoes or whatever it is that you do. Mm-hmm. Like if you come into our clinic, we do a lot of random shit in the initial stages, right? I will do some PRI kind of ribcage pelvis stuff. I will do some anatomy and motion, Gary Ward, foot mechanic stuff with the wedges. I might use some FRC things. Like, I don't know. I don't really care, because at the end of the day, as you are rehabbing, rehab starts to look more and more similar to everything else, because you're getting back to your main patterns. But the beginning stages is where I say like we do a really good job at, because like we have so many different lenses that we could see something from. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you're just walking backwards, it's like, you got knee pain? Have you tried walking backwards? And if you talk to someone that only looks at the rib cage, you have knee pain? Have you looked at the rib cage? And that's actually something that happens.
Yeah.
It's just like...
That's because you're compressed.
Yeah. You're compressed.
You're compressed A to P.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And, you know, I never ever say that to a patient, because they're probably like, what in the world?
You know what's funny about that too is like there is a needle to thread there, because like, you know, you just alluded to some pretty big 3-letter acronyms, right? That have individual trains of thought. There are some small overlaps, but like there are 3 distinct lenses of how to impact change.
Yeah.
Right. And I certainly have fallen into the trap. You know, when I stumbled across PRI personally, I was like, this is it.
Tuck, baby.
This is it. Get the balloons out. Exhaling, baby. We're going to get those ribs down, you know? And we're doing adductor slide backs, and it's like, but you know, being exposed to those different methodologies and philosophies does help you build a much, or at least in my experience, has helped me form a much more robust ability to look at human movement and function. And there are principles and concepts from each of those things that are like good things to appreciate. And you don't have to like, you know, like get down on one knee and beer bong the PRI Kool-Aid, right? Necessarily. But like you can cherry pick the things that you like from any of those worlds and roll them into your practice. And I like the idea of you exposing a lot of different things to people early on, because you never know actually what is going to help people, not with certainty.
Yeah. And I think general like framework that I have, it's like I'm going to learn from really, really great strength coaches, and I'm going to regress all of their methodologies to something that can be utilized for someone that's in debilitating pain. I'm going to take all these rehab things and I'm going to make sure I can scale them to something that's actually meaningful.
Yeah.
So let's say like the sideline pullback exercise. What are you trying to get out of that? You're probably trying to restore hip internal rotation. You're probably trying to feel a little bit of length in your glutes and that posterior capsule. So it's like, how do we scale that? Let's get someone upright and let's do a lateral squat. Can you feel that same exact pattern? Can you feel length in your glutes? Can you see the pelvis roll over the femur? If you could do it in a lateral squat, can you do it in a lateral lunge where you're now going a little bit more dynamic? If you could do the lateral lunge, can you do a lateral bound? If you could do lateral bound, can you do a lateral Hayden? Boom, now we have something meaningful. Now we can go into lead tap kind of movements where we're doing low box straddle jumps, low box shuffles, and we start to go into lateral shuffle to decel and re-excel. So it's like we've taken a sideline pullback from PRI and now just scale that all the way up to a multi-directional pattern.
By the way, he just gave you guys an entire progression model for lateral movement. You're welcome. For lateral lower body movement. Congratulations. If you take one thing away from this podcast, honestly, brilliant.
But that's kind of what I'm trying to do. It's like, I know everyone is getting results.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because even with something like functional patterns, and it's crazy because like you see these before and afters. I'm like, I couldn't do that shit.
Yeah. Well, hey, honestly, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but shot out the what is it? The functional patterns evidence page, because hey man, there are some before and afters on that. To your point. Now, what I don't love is the way he cites the before and afters as scientific proof. It's like, well, come on. Yeah.
No, I thought you were gonna be like, oh yeah, before flaccid, after strong. That's the shit that like kills me.
Yeah. I just wonder, it's like, man, if that guy was just less of a douchebag, would the whole thing just do a lot better? Probably.
There is something to like, you never get someone from that school of thought that I've encountered yet where like, hey, all the points that you're making about functional patterns, that's a fair point, but this is how like, we might see things that are a little bit different. Yes. It's less of like actual discussion and more like, we could do better. You're killing your patient. And I'm like,
yeah, literally.
Can we have a conversation, or are we just gonna fucking talk about belittle one another?
Exactly.
But that's kind of the goal. It's like, I know people are doing great things. How can I make it work from like a principle standpoint instead of these crazy narratives that you might have within that school of thought?
This episode is brought to you by friend of the show, David Gray of David Gray Rehab, creator of the absolute game-changing foot, ankle, and Achilles program. To date, it's helped over 8,000 people, including Zach and myself, get back to running, jumping, and playing pain-free. This program isn't just for athletes, it's also been used by coaches and physios in the NFL, NBA, and Premier League, as well as every other major sport. And if that wasn't impressive enough, you can get the full program 15% off lifetime access when you click the link in the show notes and use code TIM at checkout. So obviously, like, the idea that one exercise or one intervention is going to be an absolutist fix-all for any human being, no matter what the circumstance, right? Let's shelf that. That is, we've concluded, is absurd. However, are there some principles or philosophies across going from pain back to performance that have stood the test of time for you, that are things where you're like, these are some North Stars anyone can follow that are going to move the needle?
Yeah, I pretty much have laid them out. So like the first one that we look at is like movement availability and isolation. So if you're ever rehabbing, reconditioning someone from a meniscus injury and ACL injury, it's like you probably want to get that quad pretty fucking strong relative to, a little bit more compared to the other side, because you're going to be deconditioned when you get injured. Mm-hmm. So you probably want a little bit more compared to the opposite limb, or you want some normative values. Movement availability and isolation could also be like actual joint motion, muscle length. Can you actually move this joint? Can you actually lengthen this muscle? If we could do it in isolation, we can start to do it in integration. So that's the next one, which is like movement availability and integration. You've got and this is where people stop, right? Oh, I restored your hip internal rotation on the table. You're better. It's like, no, because it completely changes when you get someone upright. They have to be able to put pressure in the right areas of the foot. They have to load against gravity. So that's kind of movement availability and integration. From there, we do optimization of energy transfer, and that's more like plyometrics in nature. So it's like you've got your movement ability and isolation, integration. I want to see how well you move under dynamic loads. And it's not always, coming off the ground as quick as you can, but can you actually yield and perform deep tier movements like what Matt says? Mm-hmm. Then there's optimization of energy expenditure, which is more like your readiness from a metabolic standpoint, right? Or like aerobic conditioning standpoint. You could do 1, 2, and 3, but if you're gassing out in like 10 minutes and your sport requires you to be on for, an hour, or like if you've only ran like for 10 minutes and you haven't done like a tempo workout that really builds your, all the meters that you're going to be running, you got to do that. Mm-hmm. We've got graded exposure. No matter what we do, we're just trying to gradually expose you to more and more stress. You want to navigate variability in task and environmental constraints. So like if we're doing a lateral shuffle, a sterile way of doing it is like, Tim, you're in the center. You're going to shuffle left and then come back. It's like, oh, you're ready to get back to sport. But we've adopted things like Lee Taff tier system. Yeah. So it's like tier 1 is like, Tim, you're going to stay right here. I have a cone to your right. When I clap, you're going to go to the right and you're going to come back. You know where you're going. You just don't know when. Tier 2 is I'm going to have a cone to your right and a left. And if I say right, you go right. If I say left, you go left. And now you don't know where you're going and you don't know when. And in tier 3, you might be like, hey, I'm going to dribble a basketball and you're just going to guard me. Now you're reacting to an external stimulus. So over time, we're layering in more complexity. And then the last principle is just behavior change. Because like no matter what you're doing, if you're a coach, if you're a clinician, the person's in your gym or in your office because they need to change behavior in some way or form, right? And you want to make sure that we're stacking as many positive lifestyle factors as possible to give this person a chance.
Yeah.
So that's like our principles approach.
First of all, bravo. That was incredible. And it feels very pragmatic and sensible. And I'm curious though, with the, habit change, what do you feel like are the things that you run into the most that are most difficult when it comes to reshaping the way someone is thinking about their injury and then how to continue once they walk out of the facility to continue to create an environment for themselves where they feel safe and comfortable and confident?
Yeah.
Because it's a head trip having an injury and trying to come back.
It's a fucking lot. And you're not going to be able to actually tell someone anything and have it transfer. All you have to do is ask a shit ton of questions. And hopefully they give you an answer and they're like, huh, that makes a ton of sense. So let's say you're coming in and like every single time you come in, you look a little bit banged up, right? And I know I work with so many like high execs in New York and they're just stressed out of their minds.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't sleep well. I'm like, hey, how'd you sleep this last night? Like, oh, like shit. Following session, hey, how'd you sleep last night? Like shit. At some point, they're going to be like, fuck, I've said like shit 8 times.
They're confronted with the truth. So you're not even the one that has to do it.
Exactly.
Just, yeah.
That's kind of one like tactic I would say, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you can't really tell someone something.
No.
They've got to answer it themselves and
particularly high performers like that.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. Other things, it's like, we might do an exercise together. You do like a Peterson step down on the right, looks great, and it looks like shit on the left. I'm not going to be like, dude, your left side fucking sucks compared to your right.
Yeah.
I would just say, do you feel a difference between your left and your right? Obviously. I need you to say, yes, I do. Because that's what's going to internalize.
They're arriving at the conclusion on their own.
Yeah. So a lot of like, when we do a session, let's say someone comes in for the first time, they've been dealing with, most of the people that we work with have been in chronic pain for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. We just had someone who's come in, it's the record so far, 40 years.
Whoa.
Which is insane. So we'll see what happens.
What a tough son of a bitch.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
And he was so lackadaisical. Yeah, I feel like it's time to give it a go. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, that's so fucking impressive.
Wow.
Like, that pain is graduated college. It started a family. Like, it's insane.
You're a grandfather.
That pain is grandkids, like, potentially. But it's one of those things where it's like, when someone comes in, I'm trying to show them that they're way more capable than they thought. And when they do that session, I just ask them, do you think that would be possible based off of your MRI, right? You had been attached to this kind of like diagnosis. Did you think that would have been possible, being able to do everything that we did today? Heads are dripping in sweat. They're like, yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
And then that's when I get a chance to educate, right? It's like, listen, if it was truly structural, based off of what you told me, it would have just gotten worse, and worse. But you tell me you have good days, you tell me you have bad days. And that's good, right? Good and bad days means that we have to hone in on why you get good days. And we have to avoid the things that create bad days. But how does that sound to you? I must get patients so pissed off because all I do is fucking ask questions. But I think that's a natural way to get someone to change their behavior. It's you're being the guide. You're not imposing anything on them.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're holding up a mirror effectively. Very cool. So it's funny. You're just leading this for me every single time we finish a conversation. It's right exactly where the next thing. So you have a gentleman that's been in pain for 40 years. Another piece of content you posted that I thought was just like, by the way, just full stop. Your content's fantastic.
Thank
you.
you.
Do such a wonderful job of creating variety. Everything is, you can tell there's a ton of intention into the message that you're trying to get across. These are things that I'm like, okay, he's trying to create a ton of value in each of these pieces of content. And again, back to the variety piece, creating value across multiple different avenues. So between like slides and quick hitting stuff and longer form conversation stuff, like you've got a bag. The man's got game, dude. I swear to God.
No,
he does.
no.
It's impressive. It is. And as someone who, has put a lot of time, effort, and energy into content creation, I can appreciate it. So I'm just going to give you your flowers, as the kids say.
Appreciate you, dog.
Pain. Back pain.
you just went from pain.
Particularly back pain. So you had a post, and the ethos of that post was like the false narrative surrounding back pain. And you went on to cite, I believe it was like 8 different slides worth of research that shed some light on the truths around what back pain is, who suffers from it, and the populations associated with it. And as someone who has had back pain personally, off and on, mostly on, for like the past, it hasn't been 40 years, but it's been like 10. I found it personally interesting. And I think that that's something that almost everyone listening to this has either suffered from, currently suffers from, or has clients that suffer from it, right? So it's pretty much something that's a consistency, particularly, if you were reading T-Nation articles with me and Andy, motherfucker, you get it sometimes. Yeah. So all that to say, can you talk a little bit around back pain? What's true? What's false? What are some old narratives? And what does the evidence tell us today?
Yeah, first it's like you had mentioned, it's like everyone knows someone that's dealing with back pain.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's some like thing that's like super unique to an individual, right? If you put all those people up against a wall, you'll have all sorts of like bodies. So it's not like, oh, you have an anterior tilt, you're gonna have back pain, because there's gonna be a lot of people that just squeeze their ass and they're in posterior tilt.
Oh my God, dude, I don't mean to interrupt, but you just fucking skyrocketed me back in time. And it's like the progression was like, okay, first it was, if you have back pain, it's glutes. You have glute amnesia.
Yeah.
And then it was anterior pelvic tilt. I don't know where it is today, but I'm as you said, I was
it's
like,
posterior compression.
That's right.
ADP. You're compressed ADP. Yeah, I think that is probably where we're at now. It's like,
why do we do this? Yeah. Why?
Oh, no. It's metabolic health. It's metabolic.
That's right.
It's metabolic health. Yep.
It's metabolic health. Why? But let's circle back around to that. Let's finish this, and then let's bring it full circle, and we're going to talk about why, as an industry, we always have to try and find a singular culprit. But
80% of people are going to have back pain, right? At some point in their life. And the biggest predictor of back pain is previous episodes of back pain. So it's just like, it's super, the previous predictor of any injury is having that injury before in the past. So that's like one thing I always point out. It's like, it's as common as like the cold almost. And I honestly think 80% is underreported. Other things to think about, it's like people associate pain with like a bad thing. People that have a condition where they can't feel pain, they literally die very, very young age. Or they don't live past like 20 years old. So it's like something to keep in your back of your mind. It's like pain isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's only bad when you have a negative relationship with it, or like you perceive it as like something that's very, very threatening.
Yeah.
And I think that takes a toll on the body over time. But there's some, I forget where it was, but there was a research paper that said we spent over $200 billion on unnecessary medical expenses, which is freaking insane.
Wild.
Yeah. And there is a ton of people getting scans after having back pain that are completely unwarranted. And it's not like we're guessing whether or not someone needs imaging. It's like, it's very predictable, right? If you have back pain and you have progressive motor or sensory loss, is your foot dropping? Can you like not feel your legs anymore? Go to a doctor immediately. Mm-hmm. Have you lost control of your bowel and bladder? Go to the doctor immediately. Yeah, you're like
yesterday, brother.
Yes, exactly. Other things are going to be like back pain associated with a fever, back pain that comes on.
Spinal meningitis. Shout out spinal meningitis. Yeah.
Back pain and unrelenting at night, just coming out of nowhere, where it's like debilitating. Like these are things where it's like, it's very, you have a surefire sign that you need further medical attention.
Yeah.
But there's so many times where you go get an MRI, right? Even though you didn't need one, and so much comes up on that imaging report. So many things come up on an imaging report. And the Mayo Clinic did a great research study. It was like 6,000 they took a bunch of different studies, systematic review, looked at like 6,000 different scans of people that were asymptomatic, walking around with no pain. And there was everything under the sun that was appearing on those imaging reports. Degenerative disc herniations, disc bulges, spondylolisthesis, like all of these things were coming up. And these people were completely pain-free. And the prevalence of it just got higher and higher after every decade of age. And it came on as quick as 20 years old. And the only decade where it actually decreased was from 80 to 90. I have no idea why.
Fascinating.
But, yeah. It's almost like, you're out of you're almost out already. So
yeah, it doesn't matter.
We don't need to degenerate anymore.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the most common myths. It's like, hey, I have this injury or I have this thing on my back. I've got to protect it now.
Yeah.
And I think the first thing that you have to do in rehab is actually make someone feel safe living in their body. Because if you perceive a threat right now, why would I allocate any resources to healing in the future? You're just chronically stressed. You're just like, I got to get out of this. Ooh, I can't move there.
David talked about this. Or similarly.
Yeah.
Where he was like, he was like, the worst clients to try and treat are the ones who have a preconceived notion around why they have pain somewhere. So it's like, I have back pain because my father had back pain. And David's like, fuck. We're in for it.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to change someone's mind. It's like they feel predestined. Oh, this pain is mine and I have to keep it because it belongs to me. And therefore, I am with the pain. I'm with pain. Yeah.
There is a lot of people that say shit like that. It's like, oh, yeah, bad knees runs in the family. I'm like,
yes.
There's a lot of shit that runs in your family that's contributed to your bad knees, right? Like your parents smoke cigarettes, drink beers, like, that's not helping the knee pain.
Yeah.
But I totally agree. There's a lot of people where they have these narratives and then I pose a question. I'm like, hey, where'd you hear that? Or like, even if someone says, my doctor told me that, it's related to this. I literally say, what's your relationship like with your doctor? And they're like, I don't really care. Are you open to a new opinion? Yeah, he's a fucking idiot. Like I'm in New York. So like if I know that someone likes to curse and do shit like that. And
meet them where they're at.
It's like, yo, just fucking tell me the truth. I'm like,
all right.
What's your relationship with your doctor? It's not good. All right. You guy's a fucking idiot. And I can give you 10 research papers right now that would prove it to you otherwise as well. And there's so many people where like, you're my fucking guy.
Yeah. Right? They appreciate it.
Yeah. And then there's other people where I'm like, if you're open to another perspective, I could send you a research paper when I get home today. And you're like, oh, that'd be wonderful. Right. So like, you got to be like a communication chameleon in order to kind of educate those people. But that's probably one of the biggest narratives right now. It's like, I have this thing coming up on imaging. I have to change my program to like bird dogs, curl ups, and side bridges.
Yeah.
And it's pathetic.
Yeah. I've seen clients that I've trained. This has happened more than once where they have some back pain. They go to their doctor, their, family physician. The physician writes up an MRI. They go get an MRI and they've got it comes back. They've got some degenerative disc and maybe like or they have degeneration and then they've got like a bulging disc, right? And so they go in and perform a minor procedure, right?
Yeah.
They want to clean it up, right? And then now this person is stiff as a board, completely afraid to move their back. And then, they're not doing anything to address it. And they continue to do everything to avoid hurting their back. And then they develop even more back pain. And I watched this progression happen with one client in particular. His name is David. God bless him. And was encouraging him like, hey, let's try and train your midsection. Let's just try and get your spine moving stuff. So protective. I mean, the only thing we would do, and look, at the end of the day, I provide a service. Listen, man, you don't want to do the leg press? You're scared it's going to hurt your back? You want to do leg extensions? Cool. 1 to 2 RIR. Let's hammer those leg extensions. You know what I mean? I'm going to find a way. But eventually he ended up getting his spine fused. Yes. And then he got on and then he's taking painkillers, opioids. And it was just like I watched in real time. Honestly, it was like a disaster. It was really sad to watch. And this happened over the course of a year. First doctor's appointment to spinal fusion surgery. Isn't that fucking wild, dude?
And that's like, when you said a minor procedure.
Yeah.
But there's about 25,000 or 30,000 deaths per year due to medical error.
Whoa.
And it's just, that you gave me like a Joe Rogan whoa right there. You were like, whoa. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't realize it was that many.
But it's crazy, right? People will literally die from complications, infections, things like that.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not, it's part of what happens when you get cut open and all of these things occur. So it is crazy to just like hear that progression within a year. Someone completely kind of lose their livelihood. Like,
Yeah.
Right now, like, we're just smiling like, fuck, I want to go talk to David. You know,
Yeah.
like, I want to fucking help the guy.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I think a lot of people have probably been through, maybe not to the extreme my client went through in that case, but I see it on a much smaller scale all the time, where I have back pain. Oh, I need to protect my back. I go to a PT facility. I do some bird dogs. They tell me to avoid lifting heavy things for a while. Right? The back pain never goes away. You know what I mean? Or maybe it does. Maybe it does go away for a little while. And then.
But it goes away because you haven't done the shit you want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and then you try and reintroduce the things that you want to do. And almost certainly, like for a client like mine, it's like, you know, they hadn't done anything and they decide to like do a fucking high intensity Pilates class out of nowhere. And then they come in and it's like they are shaped like the letter C. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case is.
I do want to go back to one point you made.
Let's do it.
Because you're like, oh, there's fucking rigid and guarded. It's a fucking negative feedback loop. Because when you're in pain, you want to just tense up and close everything up.
Yeah.
And what they've noticed is like people that are in chronic back pain have less postural sway. They have less variability generally already. So it's almost like when you have someone that's in pain and you tell them just stiffen up, brace up, you're just putting, you know, fuel to the fire.
Right.
Instead of like being like, hey, this is a good strategy now. Right, in the first early stages of back pain, because, you know, if you move a certain way, things will kind of talk to you.
Right.
But this is not a strategy for the rest of your life.
This is not long term.
Exactly, yeah. And I think oftentimes physical therapists are just like, oh, yeah, you're going to have to brace for the rest of your life. And it's like, you're a fucking robot.
Do you
now.
think physical therapists are kind of put in a fucked up position though? Here's what I mean. Yeah. Because like people are coming to you and I can just, I'm going to put myself in the shoes of a physical therapist, even though I've never been one. Okay. So I work at a clinic. Okay. And I deal with people all the time and they come in and they want to get out of pain, period. Point blank. That's all they care about. So I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to give people exercises, show them a better way to not just get out of pain right now, but how to get out of it long term. Nobody does it. No one does the exercises. People don't fucking listen to me. I don't know how to get it done. Then
I got a hot take on exercises, but
okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, well, fuck it. I'm just going to tell them to avoid doing these things. I'm going to give them some soft tissue work. I'm going to give them some exercises that are safe and low level hanging fruit. Their back's going to start to feel a little bit better. And then they're going to be really happy with my service. I'm going to get a 5-star review on fucking Yelp and I can send them out the fucking door.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
To a point, to a degree. I would say like in most settings, it's like that, right? Like people are using their insurance and they're just like, hey, I want you to just fucking rub my back.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't really want to do exercises. And people are just going to milk the shit out of their insurance and just get low quality care. And you're not really getting the people that are motivated to want to change. And I'm saying that from a general perspective, right?
Okay.
There's definitely people that
Sure.
will utilize their insurance and they want to get after it. But then the physical therapist is like, yeah, clamshells. You know,
Yeah.
let's fucking get after it, baby. Like 1 rep left in the tank, clamshells. But I think most people, this is where like if you know the industry really well, sales and marketing is so easy. Because I'll get on the phone with people and they're like, yeah, I know I should be better about my exercises. And I'm like, yeah, I totally get it. I'm like, honestly, like one of the things I realize is like, you just don't get excited or jazzed up to do the exercises because you have no idea what the next step is or how it's going to get you back to your goals. Does that sound like your situation to go, yes, oh my gosh, yes, right? And it's like, That's a huge point. It's like usually within a session, you can give some nice transient changes, right? Yeah. It's like, hey, let's do these exercises. Now let's retest that provocative activity. How'd that feel? You know, feels a little bit looser. It feels kind of good. They're associating movement now with a positive outcome. They're going to do those exercises.
Got it.
And then I'll say, hey, by the way, I've got 5 motherfucking progressions for that exercise. You're going to love it. Like, you got to get jazzed up yourself, right? Like,
yes,
you're going to love when we get to like the next 2 or 3 steps because you're going to feel so much better when you do it. And I'm not saying that you're going to be pain-free. right? Because you never want to promise that, but I say you're going to feel so much better when you get to that level.
Well, I think that's a beautiful way to create buy-in and to dangle a carrot, and one that's actually going to move the needle. I once heard, and I wish I
we're dangling a steak, bro. We want to.
Yes, it is a pain-free steak. Yeah. So I heard happiness, and I don't know who said this. I wish I knew, but I heard a quote, and it was something to the effect of, happiness is having something to look forward to. And, you could probably encapsulate that as like, particularly in the pain setting, is like having some hope, getting some positive feedback, getting some relief.
Dope. I got to write that down.
Thank you. Thank you. Happiness is having something to look forward to. And there are many things in my life where I've found that to be a principle that reigns true. But I think that's a beautiful way of approaching it, where you're validating their current experience, but you're also giving them, the next steps and giving them something to work towards, finally giving them something to train for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The whole like dangling a carrot, and like, I think we know like anything that happens before like 6 to 8 weeks of consistent training is fluff.
Yeah.
Right. To a degree. Like there are certain things that can change from a nervous system perspective. But if you want true tissue changes, it takes a while. So we have to celebrate any win that we can get. If someone comes in for a lower body injury, I'm going to PR their push-ups, right?
Fuck
like I'm going to do something.
Fuck yeah.
And then I'll communicate the same thing. I'm like, hey, you've been dealing with chronic knee pain for a while, but we just created an awesome adaptation in upper body. And honestly, the same system that's helping you adapt in upper body is the same system that's going to adapt your lower body.
Fuck yeah.
So you're still able to fucking recover. You're going to still be able to get stronger and do all those things. Mm-hmm. So we just got to have the right inputs.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Ace Ventura, Pet Detective?
Yeah.
Where he finally realizes that Einhorn is Finkel and Finkel is Einhorn. Okay. Well, to that, some people will get that. If you were reading T-Nation, again, you will probably get the reference. Okay. But the lines between rehab and training, and what it feels like most of the most forward-thinking PTs, physios, sort of erase that line, and it's just all the same thing. And what I'm hearing in that with you is like you're doing a wonderful job of getting people fucking results. Period. For full stop. Let's make that to priority. Yeah. And then it helps create buy-in and excitement and a relationship with the training process.
The rehab and training, I think it slowly becomes less of a difference the more you have been, loading somebody. And in initial stages, it's like you just got to rule out red flags. And I think that's where trainers and even physical therapists can sometimes get in trouble. Like, are you familiar with like what a bone stress injury can present like? Are you familiar with like what cancer can present like? One of the first times I was in physical therapy school, I had a relative reach out, a friend of a relative reach out. And I was like, yeah, you should go see a physical therapist. And, I'll be back from Miami in like a month, and like maybe I could take a deeper look. But within a week, he got rushed to the hospital. He had cancer.
Whoa.
And that was like my first foray into like trying to help a family relative or something.
Yeah.
Second person ended up having ankylosing spondylitis, which is like a rheumatoid condition of the lower back. Dude. So I'm like, I totally get it. Rehab is training. But we have to make sure that whatever it is that we're experiencing is within the scope of
practice. Yeah.
But I had a patient ask me the same question, and he has a pretty high training age, Olympic lifter. I'm like, listen, dude, once we've had 4 weeks of consistent training, it's no longer rehab, it's just training.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's a consistent training block. We're not having an increase in symptoms. Maybe it's staying at this baseline. We're training now. That's it. And it usually makes people feel good if they're athletic.
Yeah, it's a paradigm shift too for you mentally. I like that. Yeah. Well, we were talking about the issue, one of the many issues with way pain is typically addressed, and that you come in and you've got knee pain, right? And you actually did a post on this as well. And it was the moment that you stop running, jumping, squatting, and lunging is the moment you start to age faster. I couldn't agree more. The problem with modern healthcare is that they tell people to stop doing these things when they're in pain instead of showing them ways to get back to doing those things. And I told you this off air. I've been of the opinion for some time that like athleticism, maintaining athletic qualities, and to even just maintaining your strength, your ability to express power, to move with speed, sprint, jump, all the things. The longer you're able to retain those, the longer you're going to have an exceptional quality of life physically. So in my mind, athleticism is longevity, or at least maintaining those qualities. But the other end of the spectrum is true as well. If you don't use it, you will lose it. Period. And particularly as we age. So my question to you is, what needs to change? Like fundamentally, what needs to happen for the message, the primary message, to shift from, hey, if you're experiencing pain, stop doing all these things, to the paradigm shift of like, hey, continue to do everything you can and strive towards getting back to those things?
There's a lot, and I don't even know where to start. I think an easy start would be like physical therapy curriculum. You're studying to pass an outdated board exam. So that's one thing. It's like, it's so outdated. From a physician's perspective, they don't get like exercise science, any sort of like physical preparation in school. So they have no idea what the body's actually capable of doing.
Yeah.
So I think those are like two starting points. But I think, everyone's talking about like, oh, I hate AI, I hate the internet and all these things, but
took her job.
Yeah, took a job. I didn't really want to work anyway. But information is no longer going to be the moat, right? Like you don't go to a doctor for more information. You don't go to a coach for more information. You're going to go to a coach because you want someone to keep you accountable to implement these things.
Yes.
So granted, there is a lot more of this POV. You're going to do this thoracic rotation exercise near a wall and you're going to melt your back pain. It's like, yeah, you'll see shit like that. But there's also people that would be like, hey, here's like a research paper. I'm going to break this down. I'm going to debunk this. So I think in general, people are coming in way more informed than before.
Yep.
So that's been super helpful. But I don't know exactly how we change that besides collaborating more. When you actually work with a really great physical therapist, collaborate. If I'm unsure of why someone's presenting like that, hey, let me send them this way, we'll send them back.
Yeah.
But so much of the world is like, if I send you my client, you're going to take my client.
Mindset too. Yeah.
And I think that is killing the industry. It's like everyone is trying to pay rent and, do what they got to do. And I completely understand.
Sure.
But when you operate in a scarcity mindset, bro, you're going to be stressed out of your brains and you're never going to get what you want.
Yeah. It's so much more rewarding too. I mean, one of the many reasons I started this podcast is I learned early on that the way that I like to learn and the way that I enjoy my profession is working with and learning from other people like yourself, like I get to do today, right? And then taking that a step further is like being able to collaborate and be able to work alongside those people. It's better that way. And what I've found is it's quite the opposite. Instead of trying to be like, quote unquote, like protective or try and like hoard, whatever it is I've got going on, it actually, I actually become limited to my ability to do that. Like there's nowhere to grow outside of that. And also, it just makes life miserable. You said it. Like getting the opportunity to share the experience of winning with other people is so much more fulfilling than just grinding it out day by day, hoping that no one, takes anything away from you.
But that goes to the whole like validation, right? It's like I want to be that guy for everything.
Yeah.
Like I tell people all the time, it's like, I'm going to show you how to get people back to sprinting. I could not fucking tell you how to get people faster unless you've never sprinted before.
Right.
Then I fucking got you, bro. I got you.
It's true. It's true.
But if you're like a track and field athlete, if you're like, a football player, et cetera, whatever, like, and you've been consistently sprinting your whole life, I'm not that guy for you.
Yeah.
Like, if we were working together with an athlete, it's like, hey, I built them back to this amount of volume. I want you to take over the rest. Here are the things I want you to think about position-wise, and here's like some areas that need more TLC. But dude, I'm not going to get this guy in peak performance. You are. Yeah. Right? And it's understanding like where you fall in that continuum. But yeah, if you're listening to this and you've never sprinted, I got you.
Yeah, facts. That's actually true. Yeah. That is 100% true. The Coach 'em Up podcast has partnered with Eleiko.
Let's go.
Not only is Eleiko found in 85% of Power 5 schools, but they also offer at-home solutions from racks, flooring, rigs, barbells, bumper plates, your favorite accessories like straps and weightlifting belts, you name it, Eleiko's got you covered. Go to eleiko.com/coachemUp and get access to the same equipment that they're using in the best facilities with the best athletes on the planet. Zach, what's the best training app on the planet?
It has to be Train Heroic. Gone are the days of sending the old crusty PDF. Now we have a sleek new app.
It's easy to use. There's videos with descriptions. You get to track and log your weight, your reps. There's a community chat function. You can submit videos. You can get feedback.
How about the leaderboard, Tim?
I started using Train Heroic first as an athlete and someone who wanted to learn. Now I use it as a coach. Athletes and other coaches can go and be a part of my training community and get results.
Whether you're an athlete, coach, or just like to train, use the link in our description to find out how you can train on the best app in the world.
And join us on Train Heroic today. A conversation I've been saving the best for last here, just because selfishly I'm most interested in.
Yeah.
Because I'm in this phase of my career personally, is the topics of growing your business and scaling your business while simultaneously scaling your social media. And because here's the thing, like, I don't think people understand when it comes to growing and scaling. Like, I think people assume it's like, okay, you get to that place, so it means like less work. It's like not the case. It's just like, it's different. It looks different, but you're still working really, really hard. And like, obviously the goal long-term is create systems, right? So you can do more, but more does mean more. You know what I mean? And and in that process, my personal experience has been is like, you have to acquire new skill sets. You have to challenge yourself. You have to grow in new areas that are really uncomfortable. Particularly going from, I can look back from my first 9 posts in a row. Shout out David Gray for making me do that. Like the person who was standing on the precipice of doing that, and then where I am today with creating content night and fucking day.
Yeah.
Where I am as a business professional at that point in time and where I'm at today. 2 totally different fucking people. And if you told me at the beginning of that process, hey, Tim, it is in the middle of COVID. Let's just say it's March 21st, okay, 2020. You just started on this journey. In 5 years, I'm going to need you to be running combine prep with XPE, opening a gym, and have a subpar podcast. You know what I mean? I would have said, no fucking chance. How am I ever going to get to that place based off where I'm at right now? Now, I don't know if any of that resonates with you, but I think some of the limiting factors for people, one, pushing to scale is this feeling of how am I ever going to do this? So the fear of the unknown, uncertainty. And then along that journey, the pitfalls of imposter syndrome and being unwilling to adapt to new information. Andy, in your personal experience, you're a PT, you're working, it's you're doing your thing. When did you realize, or maybe it was always there, that you wanted to grow and scale? And then what were the beginning stages of like that for you?
Yeah, beginning to scale was just like, after our first employee left, I realized I was like, I wasn't speaking with as much conviction. I was just like, yeah, we're going to try to do this and like, we'll see what happens. And no one wants to stay on that ship. Oh, we're going to try to get here.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking about.
Yeah, now I'm just like, we're going to fucking grow this shit.
Fuck it.
And we're going to make this like, I want anyone that thinks about high performance rehab in New York City to immediately think about us. And that's our goal, to make sure that every single person that walks through the door gets the care that you need. Because we know so many people that haven't, and we know so many physical therapists that are burnt out. So we want to grow this to create more opportunities. But I think there's kind of 2 stages that happens in anyone's kind of career. the first stage is like you just do fucking brute force, like what you're saying, right? 2020
Yes.
to where you are now, maybe a year before, it was like, it's fucking brute force.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I got this chip on my shoulder. I feel like I'm destined for more. So I'm going to work my fucking ass off. And even when I don't want to do it, I'm just going to force myself to fucking do it.
Yep.
And then at some point, you're like, you hate yourself because you're like, I literally put myself, like, I can't complain about all the things that I'm doing because I put myself in these situations.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So then you start to ask yourself, it's like, well, maybe you don't ask yourself. You have to go, like, I've worked with so many business coaches, executive coach, and I'm going to see another executive coach next month. But you start to realize it's like you go from creating out of abundance, like when you're getting started, because you see all these opportunities, and then you finally hit some success. And then you start to create, but not because you want to continue to grow.
Because you don't want to lose it.
You don't want to regress. And when you start to do that, you're fucking playing defense. And when you play defense, you become vanilla.
Everybody's seen it in the fourth quarter. You're watching the game, your football team's up by 10, and they just start handing it off. They just start handing it off and playing prevent defense. And the next thing you know, you look up.
No, we can't. Giants just did this. Giants just did this with
you
Denver.
guys know exactly what the fuck I'm talking. I know, brother. I know. Preach. Keep going.
33 points in a quarter. What the fuck? Oh man, I was literally eating dinner with my wife on Sunday, and I'm like, this is such a wonderful dinner. Like, Giants are crushing it. Like,
Yeah.
I get to cook dinner with you. Like, this is so awesome. And then like 2 hours later, I'm like, fuck.
Complete deterioration.
But I think that's like the phase that we go from, right? It's like, and the first phase is super easy because everyone creates from that perspective. You never can scroll through Instagram and not see someone say like, you got to work harder, hustle more.
Right.
But who is going to actually ask you like, hey, Tim, when you are super successful, when this podcast takes off, when your gym takes off, when the combine guys are doing great, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Like,
Relief.
Relief, right?
Relief.
Yeah. So how do you start to feel that now? Mm-hmm. Because no matter how far you go, if you don't actually think about those things, you're just going to keep recreating the same exact scenario. And when it comes to like, success, when it comes to like social media, content creating, business, it's like, when it's all said and done, how do you want to feel? I want to feel light and happy. So how do I start to make decisions now where like, that doesn't make me feel light and happy, so I'm going to move on. Like in order to scale, you have to give up stuff that doesn't make you feel the way you want to feel. In the beginning, you just have to eat shit.
Yeah,
and you got to smile.
Truth.
You got to eat. You got to smile while eating shit.
I haven't seen it happen any other way. Honestly,
no. And I will make posts about these things sometimes, but I'm like, you just won't learn this until you feel the pain. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of things, it's really tough for people to become like proactive about health because no one wants to be proactive until they've felt enough pain.
Yeah.
And if it's not them, it's, I just saw my dad deteriorate, so I can't do that. I don't want to be like that.
Yep.
Right. So if it's not your own pain, it's somebody else's pain.
And it's got to hit hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think when entrepreneurship and business, it's like in the beginning, you're fucking excited. You're doing something new and it's so easy to work. You see that success and you start to be scarcity minded. I don't want to lose this. You start to grow out of fear. Mm-hmm. You become fucking vanilla ice cream. I'm sorry if you guys like vanilla, but like you don't want to be fucking vanilla. You want to think about what made you successful originally. Like you should be yourself totally wherever you go. Yeah. Because you're super unique. Your perspective on things, the way you banter. Like I saw you outside of Whole Foods. I'm like, the first interaction to Dap, I was like, oh, we're gonna be fucking friends.
Yeah. We're
right
gonna
out
get
the
along.
fucking gates. Yeah. But at some point, you start to second guess yourself. It's like, do I have to present myself in a different way because I'm in a room of different people? Yep. This guy's got his PhD. This guy's got this. And honestly, it's kind of like on LinkedIn, my friend got a promotion, and I commented. And I was like, anything is possible. And I inserted like the Kevin Garnett meme. But I'm like, this is LinkedIn. And my boy messaged me. He's like, yo, can you delete that?
Yeah, please undo that.
But it's like, don't forget who you are.
Yes.
And I think oftentimes people do, and they forget why they even started in the first place.
Yeah. When it comes to this entrepreneurial season that you're in, and you have been for some time now, apart from what you just shared, are there some mistakes that you've made personally? And then what are some of the lessons you've gleaned from those mistakes?
I think the biggest one is you have to match your work ethic with a rest ethic. And
that's so relatable.
Yeah.
God, that's hard. It's hard. That's a hard lesson for me to learn. I keep being confronted with that lesson.
If your athlete was training 7 days a week,
yeah,
what would you tell them to do?
Fucking knock that off, dude. You're gonna fucking hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're grinding, and then maybe you're with your fiance, you're with your friends, you're out at a bar, and you're still thinking about work. So you're not, I always think about this. Junior year of college, I was working at Chipotle. Fucking best job ever. You get a free meal before you work, you get a free meal during your shift, and you get a free meal after.
Yo, gains.
In college, fucking unbelievable. But I was working so much, I had a dream that I was working at Chipotle. I fell asleep and I was working at Chipotle. And this is the worst part. I woke up and I didn't get fucking paid for those hours. So I was just fucking infuriated. But that's
that's so good.
But that's what's happening with entrepreneurship, right? It's like,
yeah,
you're at a family gathering, you're hanging out with the boys, you're on vacation, and you're still thinking about work.
Yeah.
And you're not actually resting. You don't actually get to recover. Mm-hmm. So until you actually realize that you shouldn't shame yourself, you shouldn't feel guilty for not working, you're never going to get better.
Yeah.
You'll hit a certain amount of success, but it's going to cost you your health and so many other things. And I think that is the biggest lesson I'm learning right now. It's like, why am I shaming myself for resting?
Yep.
Like, I need to rest in order to improve, in order to be bright, in order to be sharp.
Yep.
And if I'm just feeling guilty about this shit, you know, I don't know. It's the Alex Hormozis of the world and like all the other business gurus where like work till you drop, till you're dead, etc. Mamba mentality. But it's like Kobe also had a massage therapist with him. Like, you know,
he did. He slept in a hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah,
the motherfucker ate good.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's like, it's so unrealistic.
Yeah.
What we see out of in social media. But I would say that's the biggest lesson. Like, if you actually rest, you would be so much better off. But that stems from, and this gets deep, it's like when you're a kid, if you're validated whenever you did something really, really well,
yep,
and that's the only time that you got validated or acknowledged,
yep,
you're conditioning yourself to say, I'm only worthy when I do work, when 100%. I do something.
Yep.
And that's great when you're a kid because it keeps you like a meaningful member.
You're motivated, yep. You're doing your homework. Then so proud of you. You got an A on the test.
Yeah, exactly, right? Oh, you got an A on the test? Like, I got to reward you with something.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, congratulations. We're going to go get you that fucking toy or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah.
But
or at least we'll acknowledge you exist. How about that?
No, for sure. But whenever have your parents just straight up said like, hey, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You're so fucking dope.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I just wanted to get you, like, you didn't do anything. I just wanted to get you this because you're just worth it. Like, you're awesome. Right? You don't ever get those interactions because, I don't know, unless you got from a woke ass family.
Right.
But it's like you've conditioned yourself all these years that you can't rest until you've done a certain amount of work.
Right.
But then when you just see where everyone else is at, you're like, the work's still not done.
Yeah.
So then you're just in this perpetual state of stress, and you can't be creative when you're stressed.
No.
Because when you go to safety and stress, it's like, I can't think about the future. I'm trying to survive.
Right now, right.
And now we're just in fucking survival mode.
Yeah, you're so right. You know, the difficulty with that too, like so many other qualities that can help, that are beneficial, it's a double-edged sword too, because on one hand, it is that seeking and that striving for the validation of doing something really well and then feeling the reward and the outcome of that can get you to a certain place. And that place can be really fucking far.
Amazing.
Incredible, right?
And we both probably have worked with some great CEOs, owners of companies where you're like, you're a fucking savage, but you're probably gonna, like, you're literally killing yourself.
But also, I'm giving you 5 years.
Yeah.
Before you literally are gonna be training for your fucking Ironman you don't have time for, and you're gonna drop dead because your heart has just had enough.
Literally.
Not sleeping, not eating, you know?
Because have you ever read Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers?
No, I haven't. That's Sapolsky, right?
Yeah, it's a fucking dope book.
That is a book I have put in my Amazon cart 10 times and just never purchased.
But there's two thoughts, right? It's like homeostasis. It's like our body gets out of whack, right? And then we bring it back to equilibrium. Mm-hmm. The other thought is like allostasis, which is the cost of doing all those things in order to keep your body in equilibrium. And when you're in this just chronic stress state, and you know this, right? It's like you see some people that are in amazing, impeccable shape, but they're overly stressed and they just feel fatigued all the time. It's like, how could that be possible?
Right.
If you just have all this fucking stress in your body, the cortisol levels are high, your metabolic panels and stuff are going up. Like, that happened to me. Like, I literally had slightly elevated blood pressure, slightly elevated cholesterol, creatine kinase, and a couple of other things that are kind of indicative of like inflammation.
Right.
I inputted a ChatGPT. I'm like, what can I do to improve my blood panels? And it was like, you should start working out and running. I'm like, I already run 20 miles a week and I strength train 3 times a week. Goes, oh shit, you're stressed. And that's when I had this realization. I'm like, oh man.
This is real.
This is real. Yeah, this is legit. This is what Robert Sapolsky was talking about.
Damn it, Robert. Yeah. Shout out zebras and ulcers. Yeah.
It's fucking unbelievable. But no one ever talks about this side of things, right? It's like, it's the physical preparation side of things. It's the metabolic health side of things. But what about like how people fucking feel within our own bodies and having these conversations? There's a guy, his name is John Sarno, I believe. He was physical medicine at NYU. He has a book called Healing Back Pain. And in the book, it talks about how a lot of people are dealing with chronic back issues because they have suppressed emotions.
I've heard this before.
Yeah. And think about
a lot of chronic pain. In fact, I had a therapist one time. She was like, you know, we're like doing like a lot of discovery. It's like we're like 3-4 weeks in. She was like, I was like, my back's killing me or whatever. She was like, is something always physically in pain for you? And I was like, I had never considered it before.
Yeah.
And I sat with it for a moment and I was like, yes. And she said, huh. And then just continued. And I was like, well, what the fuck was that? I actually never got an answer. So anyway, continue because I'm intrigued.
So he has that kind of hunch. It's like when people suppress an emotion, this can perpetuate into more chronic conditions. If you read the fucking Amazon reviews, it's unbelievable.
Really?
People are like, I read this book within a week. I feel so much better. My back pain of 10 years, 15, 20 years has gotten better. And no one did any sort of ribcage intervention. No one did a heavy back squat.
Yeah.
So there is something there. And this is where like I'm open to these thoughts, right? Like there doesn't need to be a systematic review for everything that I do. It's just, does this seem like an elephant in the room? You know, like there are people that just walk around with all these emotions, like, you know, been doing therapy now for a year, working with an executive coach. And part of me is like, holy crap. I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fucked up. But the fun part is like learning these things and like starting to see like just a more complete picture of human performance, you know, everything that entrepreneurship. And that's something that's helped me tremendously with all the other side of things.
Yeah.
And no one's going to do therapy until you tell them that the ROI for business is amazing. They're like, oh, sign me up for therapy.
You just took the words out of my mouth. Andy, so subscribers almost certainly know
I think got a couple of new subscribers. Hopefully with that intro.
Smash that like button. But if you've been listening to the show for a while, you know, I've not been shy about, you know, my recovery process from drug and alcohol addiction and how much time and effort I put into therapy. And I mean, I've, you know, probably 7-8 years combined. If I look at the aggregate of time I've spent in therapy for whatever the issues were. And I can tell you this, and you know, it's hard to separate what is just me being biased towards my experience and what's reality. Yeah. You know, there's a saying, it's like there's what you remembered happened and how you perceived it and what actually happened. Particularly when it comes to trauma. Shout out trauma. Yeah. But what I can say is that a lot of doors did not begin to open for me, and certainly I wasn't capable of walking through those doors and showing up and being the person I needed to be, whether those were relationships, professional advancements, you know, being able to be the kind of father or son I want to be, you know, whatever. Those were in line with the growth that I had mentally and emotionally as a person.
Yeah.
And it is also talked about a lot on this podcast. It comes up naturally and we were talking about a mutual friend of ours, right? Where it was like most people who make it far professionally in the fitness space in general, maybe they're not necessarily the best at what they do. Maybe they're good enough, but then they're good enough, but then they have qualities and skill sets that you can't quite nail down as something as like being this like, it's the intangibles, you know what I mean? And it's their personality, it's their charisma, it's their EQ, not their IQ. So I say all that to say that's been my experience. And again, totally biased because it's just what's happened to me. But in the past year with your experience in therapy, what do you feel like it has helped you with the most? Because the first year is a fucking doozy.
Dude.
And by the way, real quick, no one ever, I mean, you might be the exception. I didn't get to therapy because I was happy.
No.
The way he said no.
Dude, I was fucking burnt out of my fucking mind.
You get there because you're suffering.
You know what happened? I get on the discovery call and she goes, well, thank you for taking the time. How can I help you? And I just started rambling for 30 minutes and I started crying. And I'm like, you're really fucking good at this. Like, holy shit. You're really good at this.
Oh my God. Listen, I'm laughing because if you've been there, you get it. I mean, yeah, so relatable, man.
But you mentioned a couple of things like drug, alcohol, stuff like that. It's just addiction problems. So like one of the things that like I had a porn addiction and it fucking sucked. And I was talking to my therapist about it and I was like, is this like common or uncommon?
It's incredibly common.
She goes, it's common, but no one wants to admit it.
No one talks about it.
But I'm fucking Asian American, first generation. Therapy sessions are out of pocket. I'm squeezing everything out. I opened up the gates. People don't want to people want to beat around the bush. I'm trying to save money. I'm trying to fucking get to the root causes ASAP. You know what I mean? Like, so I was just fucking hammering everything.
Oh,
Jesus. First session, she's like, what can I help you with? I'm like,
buckle up, bitch.
Yeah, I'm like,
buckle up.
You ready for a fucking fire hydrant?
I'm about to get my money's worth. I know that therapy in New York's expensive. God damn. So good.
But that's like, you start to relate everything back to childhood and things like that.
Yeah.
And one of the things I had mentioned, it's like, I just don't want to judge people anymore. Like it fucking, I don't know why. Like I feel like I judge people and it just doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
And like, I know that this is something that makes me unhappy. So like, I don't want to do that anymore. And, going down the path of like, holy shit, like prior to being where I'm at now, people are like, wow, this guy runs 3 really successful businesses. He has a beautiful wife, a dope dog, talking to Tim fucking Riley on the Coach 'em Up podcast. Like he's got it figured out. Mm-hmm. But for most of my life, I was fucked. I was like, going back to why zebras don't get ulcers, I was about 2 or 3 months old before my parents shipped me back to China to live with my godparents. I wasn't shipped in a box, don't worry. I was like on a plane, but I lived with my godparents for 5 years.
Wow.
So I thought they were my parents. Yeah.
Wow. Why?
Childcare. It was too expensive. Wow. So like, no, my grandparents are both working. My dad was a chef. My mom was a seamstress, AKA worked at a sweatshop.
I see.
So it was just like I grew up away from my biological parents.
Yep.
And then coming back to the States, being reintroduced to my real parents was
At what age?
5.
Fuck, dude.
But I never processed it through my lens. When I was talking to my therapist.
You basically had your parents and then they were replaced by these imposters, is what it.
Which was my real parents. Which was the trip.
Fucking head trip.
But I'm talking to her and I'm just like, she's like, tell me about that experience. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it was probably super awesome for my brothers because like they were so excited to see their youngest brother.
Right.
I couldn't even imagine what my parents were thinking about when I was away and they haven't seen me for 4 or 5 years. Like I can't even imagine how they feel. And then she says, well, what about yourself?
Uh-oh.
And I just start fucking crying.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I do remember eating Pringles, like when I was coming back on a flight. And she like did like I'm like, what's that laugh about? She goes, usually when you have a traumatic experience, you hold on to the one thing that was making you happy. And I was like,
oh my God.
Yo, sour cream and onion Pringles.
Shut up, sour cream and onion. Pringles, we're looking for sponsors.
But don't feel fucking bad. Like,
No.
you know, like this is like all part of the process. And like,
Yeah, it is.
I think anytime like people are like, wow, you're open about sharing a porn addiction. You're open to talking about these things. And then it's like, when you feel like you've been doing something on your own for so long, that journey gets super fucking lonely.
Yeah.
So when you hear someone else and what they've been through, you'll be like, yo, that's fucking wild. Because I thought you were okay. I thought you were perfectly fine. But
Right.
we're all fucking flawed humans.
Big time.
But what happened was I was judging myself so hard, my past. Like once I got into physical therapy school, I was working my ass off. But prior to physical therapy school, I was a subpar Asian. Like I was failing school, cutting class, karaoke bars, staying out till super late.
Degenerate gambler. My kind of guy, honestly. I'm
Dude.
telling you, before I got sober, we would have, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good thing we didn't grow up in the same place.
We're fucking drinking like Smirnoff Ice at the parks. Like, you know, when you're a fucking kid, you got the green
Yes.
apple flavor. And
Hell yeah, brother.
But that's all like, that was all like, I was shaming myself in the past. I was like, that, like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you didn't live up to your expectations. And then once I stopped judging myself from my past, it's so much easier now not to judge people in the present.
100%.
And that's been like a huge thing. It's like everything that is negative currently right now is something innate within myself from my past, something I haven't uncovered yet. And once I uncover it, it's like, it's so much easier. It's so much easier to love other people when you finally love yourself.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Like all those other things.
Well, my hat's off to you because, you know, you can tell as someone who has struggled with addiction and gone through the process and found recovery and then fought tooth and nail to maintain that recovery and understanding what that process is like. You can tell when someone has done work and has arrived at a place where there's a level of acceptance and freedom from that thing. And it usually manifests itself with you being able to talk about it openly and honestly. So congratulations.
No,
because
for sure.
there are so many people who are listening and watching this and they're not there yet and they want to be.
Yeah.
So I hope that is quite, that's an actual beacon of hope right there.
There's a quote by Audre Lorde. It says, anything that I accept about myself can't be used against me. And like that.
Holy shit. What a great fucking quote.
And that's what I think about. It's like, wow, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like I had a porn addiction. I was separated from my family. I'm someone that works so fucking hard to get acceptance from other people where I'll literally burn myself out. I try to deliver in every single scenario because I'm afraid of people abandoning me.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the first tail end of entrepreneurship. It's like, I'm going to do as much as I physically can so no one will abandon me.
Yep.
The second tail of entrepreneurship, which is kind of where I'm at now, it's like, I'm a fucking dope person, right? And like, I don't need any external validation. I'm going to do shit because I truly believe in it and I love the work that I do.
Yeah.
And it's not to get some sort of feedback loop and like that dopamine hit.
Yes.
It's like I'm enough. And when I ship out the work, I'm proud of it.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, man. That's the goal.
But it's a fucking work in progress. Like, you know, it's
100%.
like every fucking week you're just
God.
reminding yourself this.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think it's so fascinating how it just it's like innate to the human condition that for everyone it feels like we're able to hyper focus on how flawed we feel like we are as an individual. And then everyone outside of us, you can place on a pedestal or below, you know, above or below. It's like you're always playing a game of like, am I better than or am I worse than this person? And I have news. This may come as news, people, and I hope whoever needs to hear this hears this. But whether you're posturing yourself as better than or less than, they're both an exercise in egoism. I can say, I'm the best at XYZ, right? And that's typically what we think about ego, being the driver of the show and being self-centered, self-absorbed, selfish asshole, right? But on the other end, if you're saying, I'm the worst, I can never do XYZ, I'll never be good, that is exactly the same thing as I'm the best, I'm the greatest, just on the opposite end of the spectrum. It's the same level of ego. So free yourself from it. You don't have to operate that way. The odds are, and it's helped me tremendously because being able to have conversations like this and being in recovery and being in therapy has taught me something, and it has been a superpower in my life. I'm not better than anybody, and no fucking body's better than me. The playing field's level, right? Now, there are socioeconomic and you know, there are all sorts of things that have impacted someone's ability to go out and get something. But at the end of the day, human to human, I'm sitting across from someone in a room, playing field's level. Go get it, baby. And that should be tremendously inspiring and encouraging, because it certainly has been for me. And when I understood that and I was able to fully grasp it, I realized I was like, I can do anything. I'm not limited by anything or anyone. I'm not unable to do something because of what someone said, did, hurt me at this time or currently. I'm freed from the past and I'm not afraid of the future. I can fucking make it happen. And when I'm telling you, I'm excited talking about it because, and trust me, it's not like I live in that space all the time.
Yeah.
Right? I oscillate back and forth, and it's just like, oh my God, what am I doing? And oh, what if this doesn't go the way I want to? Of course, all those things persist. But the shining star, the thing that I cling to, is that principle, and it guides me through that. And I have enough experience now to know, because enough things have happened or not happened, as the case may be, that demonstrates that principle is true. You can make it happen.
That what you said, it's like, I'm not always like on this wavelength.
Yeah.
You guys got to give yourself more of a break, right? Because it's like when you raise the standards, which, you know, standards are always going to be raising, it's just going to challenge you more.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't get skilled until you do it under some adversity. So like anyone can think positively when the fucking, you know, sun is out, the revenue's up and all this stuff. But like you don't actually develop what you've got right there until you've said that to yourself when you're in the shithole.
Yep.
When you just keep eating shit.
Yep.
And in that moment, I think about what Rachel Balkovec, are you familiar with Rachel?
No, I'm not. Dude, you're just dropping heat all day long. I can't wait to get read up.
She's in the baseball S&C world, skill acquisition coach. She was at the Yankees. I'm not sure where she's at right now, but she's just a fucking savage. But in those moments, just remember, isn't this what you wish for?
Yeah.
You know, like if you want to create an adaptation, the only time it happens is if it's difficult. You know, it's not like nope, RP 6 that is going to cut it. Like, this is a 10 out of 10 RP. Like, and you've got to look in the mirror and be like, you literally got to repeat that same shit to yourself.
Yeah, this is what I wanted.
Yeah,
this is the point.
Yeah. But I couldn't tell you how many times I've had to say that shit where I'm like, I'm eating shit, and I just say a mantra to myself. I'm like, let's fucking cook.
Yep. The Coach 'em Up podcast is thrilled to be reunited with Atlantis Strength. If you listen to the show, then you know that I think machines are highly underrated, not only for Gen Pop, but for athletic populations as well. With Atlantis Strength, the biomechanics are always dialed in. The joints line up, the strength curve is always on point, and every rep feels natural and strong. And it's no surprise. They've been engineering and shaping greatness in their Canadian workshop for over 40 years. Now that I own a gym myself, it was a no-brainer which company I was going to purchase my machines from. They are simply the best. If you're a gym owner, strength coach, or you just love good machines, go to atlantastrength.com or reach out to me directly at connect@coachemuppod.com. The Coach 'em Up podcast has partnered with OVR. In the world of athletic performance testing, OVR has truly changed the game. From their timing gates, vertical jump testing units, and their velocity-based tracking systems, they are simple, easy to use, reliable, precise, and check this out, affordable. I'm such a big believer in OVR. I've partnered with them in my competition Apex, and they are the official timing gate system of the Fast 40 event. Finally, a tracking device company that is accessible to everyone. They even have an app where you can track, log, and see your results in real time. If you're not testing, then you're just guessing. Click the link in the show notes and gamify your training. Andy, let's get to some crowd questions because we've got some good ones, and I want to start with this one. Because it made me laugh out loud and I thought it was great. So this is Emmy_Robaldu 2911. How did you become so badass?
Dude,
look on your face.
First off, I'm a 5'7" Asian kid with a receding hairline. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
How'd you do it, Andy?
Freshman year of college, I'd failed. I was in academic probation.
Okay.
And I was trying to just fucking bounce back because I was just like, fuck, this can't be it.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, like, what the fuck do I do? And that was the first time I ever had a panic attack behind the wheel, pull over to the side, and like my life was in fucking shambles. Felt like, I'm not sure if you ever felt this, like you have a panic attack and then you just have fear of having another panic attack.
Of course.
It's just like
100%.
Yeah. So you're just like,
It's the worst.
I just fucking laid in bed.
What is it? When's the shoe going to drop?
All I did was fucking lay in bed and watch Seinfeld. But I did something before that was, before I read Atomic Habits, and Atomic Habits like validated me, the James Clear. I was like, all right, like I'm not going to be a fucking stand-up student right now.
Yeah.
But today I could dress like one. So that day I wore a polo shirt and like chino pants, and I went to school. And when you're a freshman in college, it's like, that's fucking weird because you wear sweatpants.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, I am just going to show up. I'm not going to do the thing, but I'm going to look like I do the thing.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm going to pay attention for 5 minutes. And you just build slowly. And it's fucking boring. But if you're trying to, to do the things that we just talked about, having this outlook on life and business, and you've never talked to yourself nice, say 1 sentence. Next week, say 2. Next week, say 3, 4. Then we're going to deload. We're going to go back. Yeah, we're going to deload, right? We're going to deload. Want to burn out right there. But I think you just doing that already, stepping outside of your comfort zone, you're already a badass.
Yeah.
And it's not like the destination is a badass. The journey is a badass.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. David Gray Rehab, friend of the show. Shout out David Gray. He wants to know-
this one is going to be, this one is.
And this, I believe this is a serious question. David Gray Rehab wants to know, when is Andy planning on running for mayor of New York City? Would you ever consider it?
Dude, it'd be fun though. It would be kind of fun. It'd be
pretty dope.
fun. Do we have enough?
If you're going to be the mayor of a city,
We have enough Chinese people there to get the votes.
you do.
We do. We got a lot of Chinese people.
I swear to God, if in 10 years you're the mayor, you got to at least credit the Coach Him Up podcast.
Oh, we're going to reference this
You gotta
exact
fly me
moment. High-low training only in the city. Only high-low training. All right? To hell with all these other training mottos.
Yes, get him out. All right, I love it. Okay. So many people just stoked that you're on the... Oh, wow. Okay, so this could be controversial. Dr. Kevin Ling, which is better, Brooklyn or Queens?
Queens. Queens gets the money, baby.
Wow, that was quick.
Quick.
Tell me why. Give us some explanation.
Queens has way more cultural diversity. So I grew up in a Colombian Irish neighborhood, Filipino too.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What a mix.
Yeah, tripped me up.
That's wild,
My
bro.
friend grew up in elementary school. We're the United Nations. It was fucking sick. But there's pockets where it's like little Thailand. There's like 20 Thai restaurants in like a 5-block radius.
Whoa.
And they're all doing well, which is fucking dope, right?
That is dope.
There's like Little India. Like there's so many dope pockets in Queens. There's nothing like it.
That is so awesome. All right, Coach.T.Lee. How would you screen a PT before you have them work for you? I don't want to go to someone that does the same old scrape stretch and tell me to come back next week.
How do you screen a PT before I ask them to work for me?
Yes. Let me summate this. What's your hiring process look like? What are you looking for?
So one thing is we have the mentorship. So that's kind of like an interview process. Yeah. So we're trying to create a pipeline, and honestly, it helps, right? Like, I would say 80% of our hires come through the mentorship. But from there, it's when I see like a resume, I need to see that you've been somewhere longer than a year. Like if every single job you've had has been a year, I know exactly how long you're going to be here. You're going to be here for a fucking year.
Yep.
The next thing I start to look for is like collegiate sports background, because I just think like you know how to delay gratification if you play sports. Other things I like to look for is like service jobs, industry kind of things, because like that means you know how to talk to people, which is a huge part of the battle. From there, we get on a call, and I get on a call first, and we just banter, kind of like this. I'm like, hey, I have no expectations. Just want to learn about you, like what's your life like, where you're from, etc. From there, they'll talk to my wife if I think they're a great fit. But I have a couple of interview questions that I ask.
All right, let's hear them.
Just random ones like, hey, what's your relationship like with your parents? And it sounds weird to ask, but that tells me a ton about somebody. And if someone has a terrible relationship with their parents and I can see the tone and voice change, I can fix that. You know, like they might be bringing on their own baggage to a team. And I'm not saying that they can't be saved by any means, right? It's just that like, I can't have that right now with our team. Like I need people that are well aware of their situation, mature adults. They're open to having conversations like this. Like in our team right now, it's like we talk about stuff like that all the time. So just understanding that they have some degree of like self-worth and confidence. And I'll screen out a couple of other things. They'll talk to my wife, Christy. Then I have them come in as shadow. The key here is when they come in as shadow, I'm just going to see how they are in the space, and then they're going to treat somebody. I'm either going to bring in a friend or they're going to treat one of the physical therapists on our team. And I purposely give feedback at the end. And I want to see how they take feedback. Because during interview, it's like, how well do you do taking feedback? I'll give them some pretty harsh feedback and see what happens, right? Like I'll be very particular about something.
Very precise, right?
And if they get super defensive, sorry, like feedback's the only way that we can improve, right? But if they accept the feedback and they're like, valid points, I'm going to work on that, you're a check. And that's kind of what the interview process looks like.
God, stellar. I love there are a few things that you do that I've recognized I do sort of innately throughout that interview process. One is just getting on a phone call with someone with no like motive and just having a conversation. I can learn so much.
Can you riff?
You know? Dude, I had a hiring manager at Lifetime. I managed a Lifetime for 7 years, the training department. And when I was an assistant before I became before I had his job, he would tell me, he's like, Tim, the whole hiring process, it comes down to one thing for me. I'm like, obviously, tell me what it is. He said, if I walk away from an interview and I feel like I wouldn't be able to endure a 4-hour car ride with them, the answer is an unequivocal fuck no. I don't care how much experience they have. I don't care how talented they are. I don't care about anything. If they can't hang and I can't enjoy being with and around them, it's a full stop no for me. I was like, noted.
That's like the other edition of a beer, right? Can I have a beer with this person?
Yes.
One other thing, it's like, whoever's next in line to have the interview, if you have to sell this person that much, it's the wrong candidate. You're trying to force it. Because usually the best ones, I'm like, oh, Christy, you got to talk to him. He's dope.
Right.
And that's it. Like, oh, he's dope. That's it. Yeah. Oh, he's dope. He's got this. He's got this. He's got, please.
Please work. Please work. Please make it work. I love it. All right. Taylor, Aneb 15 wants to know, this might be hard for you. This might be our most difficult topic. Favorite shoes in your collection?
Oh, man. I've bought in resold sneakers since 5th grade.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that was my first like entrepreneurship.
Right.
And earlier I was just like, I would not wear shoes. I would just be buying and selling. Now I'm fucking wearing everything.
Right.
But dude, I just fucking love a pair of Chicago 1s.
Dude, solid choice.
Like it's so like, it's just such a classic shoe.
It's a beautiful shoe.
Yeah. And it sounds crazy, but you can wear it with some fucking dope trousers and like a sweater. You can like dress it up, dress it down. Like it's such a fucking versatile shoe. It's so fire.
Shout out Chicago 1s.
Yeah.
Forever. All right, let's see if we've got anything else on this list before we get to segments. All right. This is an opinion question. This is from Emmy again. Will listening to this episode make me increase PRs in gym and business?
Oh man, in a gym, I don't know. I don't know if we talked enough gym stuff, but I think, dude, we hit some fucking gems.
I think so.
We even talked business. We just talked about emotional health.
Yeah. It's true.
But dude, if that's one thing I'll say, don't expect any changes in life until you switch your mindset on something. Once you switch your mindset, just be pretty confident, stick with the journey, that you're going to get whatever you want afterwards.
I love it. Let's see how we're crushing time. We're going to have perfect time for segments. God damn it. It's like I do this for a living. Okay, so
the good mediocre podcast.
So the subpar mediocre. Yeah, right. You guys know. I think this is the best damn podcast in fitness performance. Okay, so first segment. This is 3 things. Let's speak to a young PT. Someone who's on the precipice, they're just graduating, and they want to make an impact. They want to have success, and they want to be great in the space. Okay, what are 3 ideas, principles, philosophies, concepts, actions that this individual can take to make a huge impact and do great things in the space?
Man. First one, non-negotiable, learn from strength coaches. If you're a physical therapist and you don't learn from strength coaches, I don't know what to say besides the fact that you're going to be fucking limited after like 6 months of rehabbing someone. Like, you got to make sure that you can continuously make progress, and you can only do that if you learn from really great strength coaches. So shout outs to all the amazing strength coaches that I've been able to learn from. The Fred Dunkins of the world, the Lee Tafts of the world, the Derek Hansons, Matt McGinnis Watson. Oh man, like there's just so many solid people. Matt Jordan, like there are just, you got to learn from strength coaches.
Yeah.
First and foremost. Second thing is like, try to fucking read. Like, try to fucking read something that is outside the scope of fucking muscle and bones. Because I think oftentimes you're going to get burnt out because you're just not seeing things clearly. There's a great quote from Shoe Dog, Phil Knight. And it's, if all you see is problems, you're not seeing clearly. And I'm telling you right now, there's a fucking ton of problems in healthcare. And the only way that you can solve those problems is by becoming more valuable yourself. The only way you become more valuable yourself is to actually stack things that no one else is stacking. If you're a fucking physical therapist, guess what? There's 14,000 of you graduating every single year. So you're competing with 14,000 people that have the same exact skill set. So if you start learning from strength coaches, I would say only like 5% of the profession probably does at a very high level. So you're already differentiating yourself. But are you learning marketing? Are you learning sales? Are you going to try to be a better public speaker? Or are you just going to fucking tell yourself that you can't get good at public speaking? Or are you just going to tell yourself that you can't read books because I just never really read books before? And I think oftentimes there's this narrative of like, that's just not me. I can't be that person.
Yeah.
And you're right. You can't be with that mindset.
Yeah, with that attitude, fucking right.
So you got to fucking learn. You got to be a learning machine. The last tip would be whatever it is that you're doing, think about how you can make it enjoyable. There's a lot of people that will leave the profession. And it sucks because like usually when you're joining the profession as a physical therapist, if you're trying to be a personal trainer or strength coach, you're fucking jazzed up. You want to make an impact. You want to help people. And slowly you're putting yourself in an environment where they just keep burning your fire out, putting your fire out. So how can this be more fun? Do I need to change my environment? Do I need to change my perspective on things like creating content and building a personal brand? Mm-hmm. If you show up and you're recording a camera and you're like, yeah, here's 2 things that would really help with your back pain because this is not fun for you, you got to fucking change it up. Like, how can you make that more fun?
Right.
Like I always think about that. Like, how can I make this more enjoyable?
Yeah.
So wherever you are in your life, it's like, what do you need to do to make this more enjoyable? And start there.
Fuck yeah. What a solid, that's at least a top 5, 3 things from Dr. Andy. Okay. Next segment. No pressure, by the way.
Oh, let's get it. Let's get it.
You know what? I'm going to start making these segments competitive. I'm going to start prompting everyone beforehand. Like, look, listen, the last rant and rave, it was Jordan Syatt. I got to tell you, that motherfucker crushed. So let's hear it. All jokes aside, rant and rave. This is brought to you by Train Heroic. I fucking love Train Heroic. Truly, from the bottom of my heart. I learned a lesson long ago when I was selling personal training that if you're never going to sell something a day in your life if you use it, love it, and believe in it. That's the way I feel about Train Heroic. I use it. I love it. They're great fucking people. Zach uses it. He loves it. So many of the other coaches that listen and watch this show use it. You can join us. Join us. Much like the subscribers, click the link. I also, listen, I'm not going to stop doing this segment. Surrender. What's the definition? To join the winning side. Okay. Rant and rave.
That was fucking dope.
Thank you.
I just got you, dude. You're fucking good at this. You're fucking good at this.
Thank you. Hype me up, Andy. Let's fucking go. Rant and rave. So, a rant, something that you're seeing, and we'll keep it to the world you're an expert in the physical therapy realm. What is a rant? Something you're seeing, and it could be anything that you're like, I don't love that, and I wish we would see less of it. And then we're going to bring it around full circle on the rave, right? You're seeing something, and you're like, fuck yes, this should have happened sooner. I hope I see more of it.
I got to attack this little echo chamber I'm in. You're in pain because of your metabolic health. And, it's like, the circles that we're in.
I know.
The people that we're treating in these circles, we're working with people that want to be fucking active.
Yeah.
We're working with people that want to be at the top of whatever it is that they're doing, triathlons, marathons, sports, etc. And they're in pain. And guess what? Their blood pressure's fucking fine.
Yeah.
They have low resting heart rates, right? Like the cholesterol is perfect. Like none of these people have metabolic health issues.
Yeah.
So I get it that we're talking about metabolic health as a whole, but it's like when you just put the emphasis on just that, I think we're losing sight of like our general expertise on things. Then
totally.
we can really be guiding some younger clinicians and coaches, but we speak with so much conviction. Metabolic health, it's like, okay, I totally get it. It's super important. But we also should be developing people so that we can actually solve more complicated issues as well. Because there's people that are coming in, they're healthy already. So then you're going to be like, okay, well, what else is there to do?
Yeah.
So like speaking absolutes, I don't think is super, super helpful. Now, I do truly believe that it is an issue for people that are physically inactive.
Yes.
Like we got to be hitting our physical activity guidelines, 2 strength training days a week, 75 minutes to 150 minutes of vigorous intensity aerobic exercise, or 150 minutes to 300 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic exercise. And if no one's doing that when I start working with them, I'm slowly going to nudge them along that way. But I'm telling you right now, a lot of people that come into our clinic, they're fucking physically active. They want to be physically active. And it's not their metabolic health that's preventing them from getting back to their goals. Mm-hmm. So that's just one little thing for me where it's like we can easily bucket ourselves into like, this is what we're doing. Oh, yep. It doesn't matter about the biomechanics or kinematics or the way you move. It's just programming. It's like, yeah, you're programming, but you keep putting fucking stress in this one area, and that area is pissed off right now, Yeah. And just because you program 10 different movement patterns, you use the same fucking strategy
to do all 10
of those fucking movement patterns.
Yeah,
so it's like, good luck programming yourself out of that one. Like you got to teach people how to move.
Yes.
But I'm curious, like, do you see the same thing? Where
100%, well, the example you just used, it's like, okay, yep, movement variability. If we give people a lot of different and they confuse giving people a lot of movement exercises with giving them movement variability. To your point, let's say someone has jumper's knee, and I say, great, we're going to get that knee bending, okay? We're going to squat, we're going to lunge. Let's see how that goes. I get them out there, and they squat, and everything moves except that knee. The bar goes from A to B, but they sit way back in their hips. The knees are still practically at 90 degrees, right? They're doing everything that they can to possibly avoid folding up and pressing a calf against a hamstring, right? I say, oh, okay, well, maybe let's try a lunge. Same strategy, right? So a step up. We're doing a step up, and it's the same strategy. The shit is vertical, So people are going to find a way to avoid the thing. That's just the way it works, So what my goal is going to be is let's actually get that knee bending, right? And it doesn't matter if I give you 10 different exercises. Hey, let's maybe try one. Do you know what a shrimp squat is? And let's get the calf and the hamstring.
Fucking hate shrimp squats.
Oh my God.
Gosh. Oh man, brutal.
They work.
They fucking work.
They work, man. So yeah, I see it. I see it all the time.
Yeah.
And that's one of those. That's why it's like, man, some of my best teachers and mentors who are like, and David Gray being one of them, who's just a good friend now. Because I started personal training, strength coach, performance. And it's like, if you're trying to do a really good job there, you can't be elite at that unless you spend time learning from PTs and physios and people who are solving real movement problems and getting people back. You can't.
Yeah. And there's like,
so it runs both ways, by the way. With the strength coach, you saying learn from, you have to learn from PTs if you want to be great.
Yeah. And that's probably one thing where I'm like, I see it on Instagram. I'm like, I totally get it. You've read Outlive. Bravo. You know, but like, we got to fucking load this knee. We got to make sure
We gotta load it.
Yeah.
We gotta load the sucker.
Yeah.
Shout out Jake Tora.
Yeah.
Load the fucker. Yeah. All right. So what's a rave? What's something that you see, you love, and you're like, I need to see more of this?
Oh man, I think the main thing again, the algorithm is going to feed you what you're kind of interested in, and the main thing I've been looking at more is just like fucking feeling emotions.
Yeah.
And we've gone from like stoicism, like fuck your emotions, like no, I get it. Again, you read Marcus Aurelius Meditations, you're a hard motherfucker. But so you got to fucking feel these emotions. And I know there's like some nuance there where it's like stoicism is like feel the emotions, but don't let them dictate your actions.
Yes.
Totally get it.
Yeah.
But what people don't realize, it's like that motherfucker's an emperor and we're just everyday people.
That is such a fantastic point, Andy. That is a very, very wonderful perspective. Continue. Like, that should be, I wonder if that should be like, you know, as like a footer on the first page. It's like, remember, you ain't him. Okay? Continue. Sorry.
No. But that's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
It's like, this person has probably made a ton of mistakes leading up to the point that he was able to have this position and hold it very, very well.
Right.
And you're measuring yourself against that person who was able to quote unquote feel those emotions and not act.
Right.
And then you feel bad when you feel those emotions and you act in a way that might not agree with you.
Right.
But I think nowadays it's like, you got to learn how to be kinder to yourself.
Yeah.
While you're changing. Mm-hmm. And if you're not, it's going to suck. And if you think about any time that you've made a significant impact in your life, it wasn't because you're a fucking piece of shit, you need to change. Mm-hmm. It's, you know, I fucking love myself and I want a better life for myself. Yeah. So I'm going to make the change. You have way more possibilities there than just mocking yourself along the way.
Right.
And I'm seeing that in my feed so much more because I follow guys like Joe Hudson, you know, who's like an executive coach for people like Sam Altman and OpenAI, Jerry Colonna, who wrote Reboot. It's all these executive coaches that are talking about feeling fucking emotions, acknowledging those things, and then moving forward.
Oh, that's really, really cool. It's also validating to hear that I'm not familiar with that space and that I'm not getting content and those names I'm unfamiliar with, but it's validating to hear that my personal, very biased experience is being reflected with people who seem to really know what the fuck they're talking about. It makes me feel good. That's a little bit of validation for me today.
Let's go.
I love this question. So this is also brought to you. Shout out David Gray. We've been talking about David Gray too much. Get the fuck out of here, David. David Gray Rehab, the foot, ankle, and Achilles program. So good. So good. Use code TIM, 15% off at checkout, and you get lifetime access. Dr. Andy.
Hold on. Shout out to David Gray. He's a fucking dope dude.
Yeah.
Really, really bright clinician. Also fun person to just hang out with.
He's the best.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get him and his wife Kira to move here for quite some time.
Kira's even more of a badass.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Fuck David. Shout out Kira, dude. Yeah. Kira, you're the real MVP. Those who know.
David knows.
David knows. None of this happens without Kira.
Shout out to my wife.
Yeah,
shout out to my wife
listen,
too.
It's like that with all of us. Honestly, another unspoken cheat code to anyone you see successful, their spouse is a badass.
Savage.
It's really hard to get it out here alone. Anyway, to the segment. Kira's segment. From now on, this is Kira's segment, David's wife. Andy, if you weren't a coach, PT, entrepreneur, what would you be and why?
Sports psychologist, if that counts for anything.
That's acceptable. That's enough delineation.
It would have to be something related to like helping people from like a mindset perspective. And that's like a huge shift recently that's been really fucking awesome. Just like having conversations like this where it's like, hey, you're pushing really fucking hard to do something, right? Mm-hmm. Perfect. What are you so afraid of? Like, what happens if you're pushing so hard and you don't get the outcome? Right. What do you feel there? Gotcha. You're feeling that emotion. You're feeling like, okay, if I don't get that, it's going to fucking suck. And honestly, I'm going to feel like I'm left behind. Say, oh, that feeling of like you suck and you're left behind. When's the first time you felt that?
Yeah.
And you start fucking unpacking things and it's like, fuck. First time I felt that was when I was a kid. I remember the exact moment and it's like, perfect. So what we're doing is we're recreating everything we want.
Yeah.
We're thinking about, shout outs to Jerry Colonna. one of the questions always to ask yourself is like, what kept me safe as a kid, but is preventing me from growing as an adult?
Yeah.
But I would love to do sports psychology. I would love to like work as an executive coach and help people just unlock, because I've seen what it does for myself personally.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my wife like a year ago, it's fucking insane how much transformation can happen from a mindset perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
If not that, a chef, dude, fucking love cooking.
Oh, dude, that's an honorable mention for me too.
Yeah.
My mom, a lot of chaos growing up. The one thing she would always try her best to do for us was cook a badass dinner. I'm so grateful for her for that, because there were many times where we didn't have the money, she didn't have the time, she was exhausted, worn out. Man, it was a mess. And she would scratch together something that was really fucking delicious. And that was her way of like really showing us. And so now I find I do that now. So I cook at the house.
Yeah, that's fucking dope, man.
It feels so good to be able to do that and to like bring that to the family.
And we've been talking about trauma. You can still celebrate things that you love from your past.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that happens when you're doing therapy. It's like you think you have to let go of everything. No. Mourn the shit that didn't serve you. Celebrate the things that did.
Yes. Preach, brother. So good. We need to get, we need like BetterHelp or like No CD, like a legitimate online mental health platform to be in fact, I'm going to work on that. I think, because I talk about it enough.
Recovering meatheads.
Yes. Okay, so overrated versus underrated. What are some ideas, concepts, philosophies in the PT space that are overrated? And then what are some ideas, or I should say, a singular idea, philosophy, principle that is underrated?
Overrated. I think overrated is like thinking that you have to do very specific exercises. Like people are like married to like, oh, you got a back squat. And like people get so upset when Mike Boyle says nope, you don't need a back squat. And I'm like, I think people are so married to fucking exercises.
100%.
Like, don't worry about exercises, worry about adaptations. And you would know this.
Time out. Full stop. Can you say it again?
Don't worry about exercises. Worry about fucking adaptations.
Pew, 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 pew. Where's the button? That's button worthy right there.
But that's what I mean. If you're a physical therapist that learns from strength coaches, that's literally what all these fucking strength coaches talk about. It's like adaptations. We're not concerned about exercises. There's so many different ways to get the same adaptation. So there's too much like you have shoulder pain. We're gonna do a kettlebell arm bar.
Right.
It's like, have some critical thinking. Figure out what that person actually needs. It's not just one specific exercise to solve this one specific issue. So that's definitely an overrated aspect. People married to exercises.
Excellent. All right. Underrated.
Machines. Like, I mean,
man after my own heart.
Like, there's nothing better than my fucking $30 Planet Fitness membership. I go in with a code brew.
Shout out Planet Fitness, because they've stepped it the fuck up.
Dude, the machines are great.
The machines are fantastic.
Yeah, it's the best bang for your buck.
It really is. It really is.
I go maybe 3 times a year, but it doesn't matter.
Fucking worth it.
It doesn't matter. It's not that expensive.
Yeah.
But I go in there with a cold brew and I just fucking max out every machine I leave.
Yes. Fuck yeah.
Like if I'm tight on time and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to run in there, leg upper till I can't walk and I walk out.
God, elite.
Yeah. But machines are so underrated. People want to talk about, stability, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. But like if you want to load a specific tissue and not change the angle or anything, you got to use a fucking machine.
Preach.
Underrated leg extension, by the way. Holy crap.
Oh my God, it's so underrated. I've told the story a million times, so I'll say it fast because it's your first time probably hearing it. But I remember when I first started suffering from jumper's knee, patellar tendonitis, it was during a time in which I'd been a trainer for only a short while, but the sentiment at that time in performance, if you use machines, you're going to turn into a bodybuilder because bodybuilders use machine. No flaw in that logic. Also, if you do isolation movements like a leg extension, leg curl, tricep push down.
You get flaccid.
Yeah, you're also going to get slow and robotic. It's going to turn you into a robot because it's not integrated and it's not functional and it serves no purpose. Holy fuck.
Hold on, one more underrated.
Yes.
You know those fucking ab straps that hang on to the
Yes,
pull-up
I
bar?
do.
Dude,
Lovely.
I've been using them.
They're great.
Fucking dope.
Yeah, you get lats, abs, obliques, abs showing up
Yeah.
to the party all at the same time.
Crazy.
Glorious.
Super underrated.
Yeah, we're very alike, you and I. I knew I liked you. Okay. Last segment. This is unsolicited, solicited advice. This is brought to you by Eleiko. Still can't fucking believe that they sponsor this podcast. They are way too nice. Did you know that there is not a single other discount code on planet fucking Earth that Eleiko offers other than the one I'm about to tell you right now? It's the only one that exists. Okay. Use code CoachEmUp10 for 10% off everything that is in the link on the show notes. I know.
That is wild.
Well, I don't know how I swung that, to be frank. I think Magnus, their president, may have had a lapse in judgment, but we are eternally grateful.
I met him. He's
for
a great
He's
guy.
so great.
Super
I love
nice,
him.
dude.
Wonderful. Shout out Magnus. Wonderful friend of the
What
show.
a name.
I know.
Holy shit.
Elite. Okay. Unsolicited, solicited advice. This advice is a piece of advice. Let's say you walk out of here, you're going to go grab something to eat from Whole Foods. And as you're checking out, the man or woman checking you out is just doing their job. They're just trying to accept payment to go. But suddenly you are struck, convicted, compelled. You have to share some piece of unsolicited advice with this person checking you out. And it can be about anything. Life, training, shoe game, anything at all.
Oh, man.
One piece of advice. What's it going to be?
I think we'll go for something that's a little bit more impactful.
Okay.
Cop Jordan once. I'm fucking with you. No. It's, I think it's kind of a two-part,
Okay.
right? If you're like, I don't need therapy. I can just talk to my significant other, or I could talk to a friend. But what if your significant other or your friend's having a hard day and you're pouring onto them unnecessarily? If you say something like that, you probably should talk to somebody. Now, when you're going through therapy and you're thinking of a lens like, yeah, but I'm not that depressed and I'm not thinking about killing myself. Therapy, I don't think actually is about curing depression or any of these things. I don't think it makes any of those promises. In my eyes, it's like therapy is just meant to help you understand yourself at a deeper level. And when you do, the side effects are all the other things that, we commonly think therapy will do. And it'll bleed into every aspect of your life. But if you feel like, I don't need therapy, I can just talk to somebody. Don't put that burden on somebody else, a family, a friend, etc. Especially not your dog. Your dog sometimes be like, yeah, dude.
Yeah, give the dog a break.
Yeah, the dog's like, dude, I'm trying to fucking take a nap.
Yeah, dude.
My dog's heard too many fucking rants. And now the other thing is just like, therapy isn't about solving these issues. It's just about getting to know yourself on a deeper level.
That is really, really good advice. Solid advice. And I concur. Andy, it's been absolutely fantastic hanging out with you, man.
Yeah.
What a fucking blast. I hope to have you back on. And originally, everybody, we were supposed to lift today. I have Apex happening this weekend. So I am so fucked right now. Andy, we are so fucked. Oh my God, that TikTok sound works perfectly for you because your name is actually Andy. I'll show you the TikTok later so you'll get it. But we're going to be unable to. However, we are setting up a day and time for him to come back, and we're going to smash some iron together and get some content of that. Until then, where can people find you, connect with you, interact with you?
Easiest way is going to be at Dr. Fata-Chan. I'm going to preface this by saying, when you follow me, I have an assistant that will message you. So if it sounds robotic, it completely is. Our goal is we just have way too many fucking conversations happening at once. So when you follow and you're like, oh my gosh, this guy's using bots, listen, totally. I put all my cards out, right? But if there's anything that you need, just message that. If there's a question that she can't answer, she sends it and forwards it to me. I do my absolute best to try to respond to every single person. So if you need anything, let me know. And that's probably the best channel.
Amazing. Dr. Andy.
Tim.
Thank you, dude. Really appreciate you coming on the show. If you made it this far, remember there's two types of people on this planet Earth. You know what to do. I'll see you next time. Peace.